All right, to find the Charles STAAR test, you are going to go to week 5 module. And when you click on the arrow up and down, you're going to find that the Charles STAAR test is underneath Charles by Shirley Jackson Project. You're going to be answering 5 questions over Charles that are in STAAR formatted questions. So click on Charles STAAR test. And once you click on it, it'll take you to the test that you're going to be taking. There are 5 questions from the story. Each question has 3 answer choices. And make sure when you're reading each question, you understand what it's asking and making sure you're looking through each answer choice of what it's not, using yes, no, or maybe, and making sure you know how and why you chose that answer. So number 1 says, what major theme is explored in the story? Selfishness, humor, or identity? Make sure you look up those 3 words if you don't know what each one means. And theme is explored. So think about theme, what we did in the project. Number 2, the first person perspective in the story gives the reader information. So think about what first person point of view is and why it's used to tell a story. So who's telling the story? So the first answer choice is, the first person perspective in the story gives the reader information to see how the parents are struggling with Lori's time at school. Yes, no, or maybe. The first person perspective in the story gives the reader information to view the story Lori tells about Charles and the concerns that the parents have about Charles. The last one is, the first person perspective in the story gives the reader information informing how this is a story about how parents need to pay attention to their children more. So which one explains why first person perspective is used? Number 3, in the passage, the word renounced is defined as to make a very important announcement to a large group. In the passage, the word renounce is defined as accepting and holding something or someone highly. Or the last one is, in the passage, the word renounce is defined as to abandon of a claim, right, or possession. So you can go back to the story. On page 1, look up the word renounce, that is underlined in bold, and reread the sentence. Which definition is the best one? Number 4, the setting influences the plot by portraying how teachers had more authority in the classroom because parents allowed that. The setting influences the plot by showing that parents did not care about their children's schooling. Or the setting influences the plot by explaining how, when you lie, you will always get caught. Remember what setting means and what influence means and how it's important to the plot. And then question 5. Based on the story, the reader can conclude. Remember what conclude means? It means to figure out. And the reader is your I. So think about what you can conclude based on the story. So based on the story, the reader can conclude that at school, Lori tends to be respectful and loves his family and friends. Based on the story, the reader can conclude that usually Lori is unkind and selfish to his sister, mother, and father. Or the last one is, based on the story, the reader can conclude that essentially, Lori is an undisciplined and deceitful, but is clever and a very intelligent child. So make sure that you go back and double check your work. What's the best answer? Make sure you know what the worst answer is. And then submit your quiz whenever you have answered all 5 of them the best that you can.